Ketogenic diets are popular because they work, but if you jump into one with both feet, you will pay a price. In this video, we're going to talk about the way to make your transition to a ketogenic diet smooth by first going low carb. Hi, I'm Dr. Becky. I'm a college instructor of the science of nutrition.
And I'm Dr. Keith. I'm a chiropractor in private practice for the past 27 years. And of course, we're two fit docs, right? And we turn weight loss resistance into weight loss results.
And we have done that, as most of you know, watching Keith over the past year lose 80 pounds on a ketogenic diet. But you did not start on a ketogenic diet, which I don't know that we've often told people.
Right.
We haven't kept it a secret, but you actually started low carb.
I started on our 0, 1, 2, 3 plan.
Right.
Which we've talked about it before, 0 sugar, and this is a daily plan. So 0 sugar, 1 large salad, 2 cups cooked vegetables, and then 3 hours before bed you stop eating.
Right.
That was kind of the basic thing that I started with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is our starter kit. So if you want that, you can download it.
Right, and that's how I started. And I went to the low carb and then the keto because my body wasn't quite getting the results that I wanted. Right,
right. And so there's a differentiation between low carb and keto. The simplistic way of thinking of a ketogenic diet is a very low carb diet. So in general, we'll think of a low carb diet as being 125 grams of carbohydrates a day or lower. And a ketogenic diet is 50 grams of carbohydrates or lower.
Right.
So,
and typically I have to be at 30 grams or below to get into ketosis. So.
Right, and so when you started, you were keeping your carbohydrates much higher than 50.
Yes.
But you were still in that low carb sweet range.
Yeah, it was considered low carb.
Right.
Yep.
And by doing that, he was able to avoid a lot of the problems that come when we jump into keto really quickly. And we're going to talk about 3 of those right now. First one is cravings. Second one is bathroom issues. The third one is the keto flu. So I'm going to start with the cravings because I talk with a lot of ladies about this, and men too. When we find something that is promising, that working for a lot of people, like a ketogenic diet, we want to jump on that keto train. The issue is that most of us are going from a very high carbohydrate diet. We're eating muffins and cereals and sandwiches and pizza and burgers with buns and stuff like that on a daily basis, a couple times a day, and then we all of a sudden cut our carbohydrates to 50 grams or less, and now our body is retaliating with cravings. We have an intense need to get carbohydrates. Well, why is that? From your body's standpoint, what you have just done is that you have cut out its source of energy. Glucose, the sugar that you get from carbohydrates, is a very quick, easy energy source for your body. So when you go from a high carbohydrate diet to a really low carbohydrate diet, you have robbed your body of its easy energy source. It's not going to take that lying down, so it is going to cause cravings so that you are encouraged to eat carbohydrates and give it some of that easy fuel. Going low carb first allows your body to get into the transition where it can now start to rely on some ketones instead of glucose, kind of get your machinery working a little bit. You always talk about that.
Yep.
So that is one great reason to go low carb first and then go keto. Bathroom issues. I'm going to allow you to talk about that one.
All right, bathroom issues, my favorite subject.
Oh, great.
So here's the thing, when you go low carb, when you cut the carbs down, you're going to lose a lot of water. And so that is going to end up kind of drying out some things going through your digestive tract. You're going to have some constipation things going on there. Also, because you're losing that water, you're also losing your electrolytes. Mm-hmm. So having an electrolyte supplement, which one of the things that we recommend, will help with that part of that. The other part of that is that we often use MCT oil, and MCT oil does have a laxative effect. So you start using that, and you might have to take a run to the bathroom. So it's kind of both ends of the spectrum.
Both ends, huh?
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with MCT oil. It is just that your body needs to get used to it. Yeah, and it will. Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Start with like a teaspoon. Don't start with a couple tablespoons of MCT oil.
That's right.
You start with that. And really, we're not overly invested in a lot of supplements to lose weight. You can do so much, get so much progress by just eating whole foods and not processed junk foods. But we will say that having a good electrolyte supplement is a must, whether you're on a low-carb diet or a ketogenic diet, because like Keith said, electrolytes follow water. So on a low-carb diet, you will lose water while you're also losing electrolytes, and that will cause everything from muscle cramping to headaches.
The Dietary Guidelines for Americans recommends that carbohydrates make up 45 to 65% of your total daily calories. So,
thank you, Alexa.
2,000 calories a day, between 900 and 1,300 calories should be from carbohydrates. That translates to between 225 and 325 grams of carbohydrates a day.
That might be the best advice he's ever given us.
No, it wasn't. Did you hear how many carbohydrates?
Oh, yes.
It was like 200 and some
super high, yeah.
That's amazing. So that was...
Alexa's a diabetic.
Well, don't to say her name. She'll start
that's
talking
right.
again. So isn't that funny? So there you go. So there's the United States government regulations where
They're right in our house. They're like Big Brother right there.
So that would be a high carbohydrate diet, 200 and some grams, didn't she say?
220 grams or something like that.
Yeah, so low carb is 125 and keto is 50. That's like hilarious.
Yeah,
anyway.
that is pretty funny.
So we were talking about...
Right, so the third thing, pitfall of jumping into a ketogenic diet is what they call the keto flu. We've talked a little bit about that before, but basically what happens is you cut your carbohydrates really low, and you can feel achy, you can feel fatigued, lethargic, just like you have a little touch of the flu, and it usually lasts a few days for most people who experience that. And again, the reason is that it's that machinery. When you're actually changing your body's fuel from sugar to fat, and it's really not efficient at doing that yet, because you do need enzymes and catalysts and things to get those chemical processes going. When you first switch, your body doesn't have that machinery, doesn't have those things in place, so it's sluggish to get that process going and start making ketones in abundance that you can use for energy. Again, the electrolyte supplement will help get you through that. Also, easing into the ketogenic diet by going low carb first kind of primes your body, gets that machinery in place, and you can kind of avoid all of those pitfalls of the keto flu.
Yeah, and that is why we have set up our coaching program in the way that we did. So in our coaching program, you have meal plans that are low carb and ketogenic. So whatever area you want to go into, if you want to, in fact, when people come in, we recommend that they start with low carb and then go into a ketogenic diet for the reasons that we've been talking about here. But in the coaching program, we have meal plans that will provide as many as 25% of your daily calories from carbohydrates, ones that will do 20% of your daily calories from carbohydrates, and we have a full keto food plan that will allow you to go less than 10% of your calories.
And remember that not everybody needs to be on a ketogenic diet. Some people can do quite well, especially if you're insulin sensitive. You can do quite well on just going on a basic low carb diet. You don't have to go to the extreme.
Yeah.
But at least we give that flexibility that you can go from this level to this level down to whatever level works.
Right, and if you want, you can cycle back and forth, which actually you have done throughout the year as well.
I've done it. Once I reached my goal weight, I would kind of go into more of a low carb range, and then I would go back into keto for a week or two, and then kind of cycle out. And I kind of also kind of plan that around family get-togethers and parties and holidays and things like that. That made it a little bit easier to kind of navigate those waters.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's a worthwhile thing to do, and it certainly worked for me, and I think it's a good thing to consider.
Okay. All right, great. Well, hey, thanks for watching. We hope that was helpful as always. If you would like to learn more about our coaching program, we'll leave some links here on the video for you. That is all we have for you today. Anything else that you want to add?
Nope, I just need to smile.
Okay. All right. Yep. Yeah. All right. See you next week.